you've decided to follow through. Well, there's a whole front pew in front of you who wants you to know what you're changing your status to. Do you know? You'll have to tell yourself no. No more late night spot time with the guys. No more love in your reflection in the naked eyes. Yes, 2-1 is no too many. So rip up all your love letters and throw confetti all over the stage, so you can cut the chase and serve the cake. No one says that you two shouldn't be. All they wanted was for you to serve them their peace. So it's time to end your show. You know that I can't say that I had fun, but you should know that it's hard to please everyone. Done when the deed is done. Everybody's taking pictures of your final scene as you're blowing out the candle of the sizzle-tine. I can just imagine how you'd almost choke as your red hot single life is reduced to smoke and blows over your head. A clear enough reminder that you want to be wed. Smile and show the world it's a beautiful day, but your front row bride side is already looking away. And you exit with a curtsy at the final dance, and the queen has left the building with a sideward glance. And they will let you be, 'cause you have set them free. And hopefully you'll quietly agree. If all that's said and done is well read, and all that's dead and gone went unsaid, then
The drawing that I was looking at and which I made a drawing from is a drawing of a male figure draped in gowns, and also has what looks like a drapery across his knees, but in fact I think it's part of the gown that he's wearing, by Fra Bartolomeo della Porta. Going to the British Museum is always a great thrill, because it's quite a formal place and one feels one's going into an environment which is very special. I work a lot from collections and have done a lot of drawing from other drawings, from sculptures, from photographs, and have been working within museum collections since I was a student. I'm particularly interested in my own work, in using collections and historical artefacts and paintings as a way of informing my own work and my own imagery. Well, the first thing I looked at in the drawing is the scale of the figure, and the somehow the overall atmosphere and stance of the figure, and the space that the figure was occupying in the drawing. And I tried to, with a few marks, outline and position the figure on my own page. Once I'd outlined the approximate position of the figure, I really focused very much on describing the figure through articulating the drapery that contained his clothes. And I was very aware of the drapery that went over his knees as opposed to the drapery that was over his shoulders and over his torso, because the drawing was almost divided into two sections. And in terms of the marks that I made, I tried to identify with the marks the most dominant areas. For example, underneath the outstretched arm there was an area of quite a lot of dark drapery, and across the top surface of his knees it was on the whole quite a light area. And I tried in the mark making, where I built up the marks, to articulate those areas that I thought were most important in order to describe the structure of the cloak around this figure. The drawing that I worked from, in fact, turned out to be, for me, a very difficult drawing to work with, because it's very sculptural, the drawing, and it also works in quite a static way, and the folds of the cloth were very fluid, and in fact whilst they're fluid, they've also got a sort of static quality and quite a kind of monumental stone-like quality. And that was something that I realised as I was sort of going on with as I was making the drawing. And I also started to understand spatially how the drawing worked, which is something that I didn't quite realise, and in fact didn't realise how difficult it was. I think there's a great advantage of going to an exhibition with a drawing book, because it helps you to focus on looking. And it is actually quite difficult to stand in front of a picture for longer than, well, even a minute would feel like a long time. And I think that if you have a drawing book in front of you and you are actually engaged in drawing yourself, it holds your attention in front of that piece of work for much longer.